not my fault. You've been lying, saying that I took away your peace. Drowning by yourself, now you wanna blame me. Like you have no options. I ain't take your options. Now I'm not the problem, man, that's on you. You've been terrorizing me, yeah, I'm always wrong. I knew you lost your mind when you dropped that bomb. Girl, are you crazy? Yeah, you must be crazy. I've been thinking lately, it's you. You stole your peace, put it on me, but baby, it's you. I like alright, but take your stuff back, baby, it's you. And I would never. You've been flexing everywhere. Girl, look in the mirror. Man, you so dirty. Yeah, you look so dirty. You were never worthy. Lately, it's you. You stole your peace, put it on me, but baby, it's lie like alright, but take your stuff back, baby, it's you. Baby, it's you. If I was Father Time, then I would change the day, so I never saw your face. What do I have to do to like you?
All right, we're about to get started. If you guys can hear me, can you let me know in the chat, please? Let me know if you can hear me.
It's not my fault. You've been lying, saying that I took away your peace.
Can you guys hear me clearly?
By yourself, now you wanna blame me. Like you have no options. I ain't take your options. Now I'm not the problem, man, that's on you. You've been terrorizing me, yeah, I'm always wrong. I knew you lost your mind when you dropped that bomb. Girl, are you crazy? Yeah, you must be crazy. I've been thinking lately, it's you. You stole your peace. like a ride, but take your stuff back. Baby, it's you. Baby, it's you. What did you think? What did you can say whatever, and I would never. Yeah. You've been flexing everywhere, girl. Look in the mirror, man. You so dirty. Yeah, you look so dirty. You were never worthy. Lately, it's you. You stole your peace.
All right. Welcome to Corporate Junky. I am your boy, Corp J. And thank you all for joining me on this live video. I have a very, very great show for you all today. Before we even get started, can you guys hear me? Please, someone tell me. Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if I'm coming across okay. If you guys can hear me, if you can just put, let me know in the chat. That'll be great. Can you guys hear me okay? Okay. All right, so let's get started. Great show for you all today. Listen, we have a great show. I gotta tell you, we're talking about Kizz Daniel, and I'm gonna tell you what's going on. So Kizz Daniel has been arrested. He was arrested in Tanzania today. He was arrested today. So I'm going to tell you why he was arrested. I'm going to tell you the events as I know it that occurred leading to the arrest. I'm going to tell you also the implications of what's going on. I'm going to help you guys understand this. I'm going to tell you also the damage control, if any, that Kizz Daniel and his team are going to need to do. So, and then I'm going to finally end it up with giving you guys my opinion about this, as I usually do. I'm going to tell you guys from a marketing, from a branding perspective, what this is going to cost him, if any. So we'll talk about it in the show. And I'm going to give you guys what the long-term damage for this is going to be. So please make sure you're liking the show as you're coming in. Please make sure you hit the like button. Don't treat me like you're a midwife or, mistress. Please hit the like button for me. This is a live show. So the link is in the chat. So if you are a promoter and have some knowledge about what is going on that you would like to share or an experience about this, please come up. But I won't open up the live till later on in the show. So, but just know that this is a live show, and so your input is needed if you are a promoter. Okay, so let's talk about this. Let's talk about what's going on. Let's get it in. Let's get into this show. So Kizz Daniel had a show that was scheduled for and paid for in Tanzania. It was a show that he was scheduled to perform on Sunday. Sunday evening was the show. And so that's what occurred. Now, apparently, he did not perform on that show. He did not show up. Why did he not show up on the show? You wouldn't believe it. So apparently his luggage, the airline that he flew in, so he flew in on Sunday, the airline that he flew in lost his bags. This happens to the best of us. I've had to go through it. Most of you, I'm sure, have gone through it. So it's something that happens. But here is the reason why. So the reason why isn't because the airline lost his bag. The reason why he failed to perform or show up at the show, which, by the way, I'll tell you what the cost of the show is. Okay, it was a show that even the government of Tanzania really were excited about, and they really were excited about really having him in town and all of that stuff. But he wouldn't go on. He wouldn't go. Well, why? Because he didn't have his chain. Apparently, he has a favorite chain, or that he uses to perform, and so that particular chain was in his bag, the one that was supposedly checked in, that was lost by the airline. So because of this, Kizz Daniel refused to. Said, "I'm not going on stage. I'm not showing up." So I'm just trying to give you what happened. I'm just letting you guys know what happened, and I'm going to tell you what my take is on this. So during this whole time, prior to the event or prior to the show, hours leading to the show, he knew that his bag was missing, and he had already expressed his intent of not showing up at the show to his team and to the promoters of the show, who, by the way, begged him, according to sources, pleaded with him to really kind of go on the show, because there were people waiting. People have spent money for this show. So the way and I'm going to show you a video later on. I'm going to show you guys some clips that I put together. So apparently it's like a ballroom type of scene where, there were different layers of tables depending on how close you wanted to be to him on stage. And these things went from $2,000, $5,000. The most expensive ones were like $10,000. Okay, so that's what people paid to come and see Kizz Daniel perform. Now, so I want you guys to take that into consideration while we're discussing this, because I'm going to tie all of that in. I'm going to tell you what that is. So knowing all of this, and he had been already paid. Okay, so he's been paid up front, got his money up front. So he wouldn't go on the show. He wouldn't perform because he didn't have his chain. Okay, now let's talk about the chain for a second. Now, some of you like watching me right now would say that is ridiculous. And it is. I have had the pleasure and not the pleasure of working with some artists and celebrities in my past life. I used to run fashion shows back in the days in New York. And I've worked with, celebrities, not promoting them. I wasn't promoting celebrities, God forbid. But I've worked with them. I've seen some of the behaviors backstage. I've been privy to a lot of how some celebrities, if not many of them, the way they behave. Because when we had Fashion Week in New York, I was part of the team that really put this together. I was a marketing team. I even owned a private label at one point. But when we did the big shows, these shows had lots of celebrities that came on there, not to mention also designers that flew in all over the world to come and really perform. So you have performers for the show, as well as designers for the show. So I've seen firsthand how celebrities really kind of behave. So while many of you may say, and you will be right, but understand that when you are in the mind of these people, okay, when I'm talking about celebrities. So again, things as ridiculous as not performing because you didn't have your chain, right? In the mind of these celebrities, most of them, there's an ego that a lot of them walk on. There's an ego that they exude. It's part of the reason why many of us buy into them. Okay, you'll be surprised that a lot of that plays into the performance of the celebrity. Most celebrities intentionally, and I'm giving you guys some behind the scenes here. And I've also worked with, friends of mine who directly manage a lot of these celebrities. And so as part of a marketing branding initiative, one of the things that is, really worked on as part of the brand for a celebrity is making yourself as scarce, as unattainable. Arrogance is something that is promoted as a virtue, but you have to know how to play it. Okay, you have to know how to use it to your brand. Okay, because it's part of what pays you. Because if you're not easily accessible, if you are vague, if you are mysterious, if you are what's the word I'm looking for? If you are very edgy, those are things that marketing people like myself play into the brand of a celebrity. Okay, so I'm going somewhere here. So while you may say that is ridiculous, and it is, and I agree with you, it is. In the mind of the celebrities, it's part of their brand and it's part of what they feel they have to do. Some of them take it overboard, which in this case, it's crazy, it's overboard. And I'll tell you right off the back that they have to do to really kind of, elevate their brand. Okay. So let me be clear. What Kizz Daniel did today in terms of his not performing on stage because he didn't have his jewelry and his chain, that is ridiculous. Most of what I've encountered from celebrities would be, celebrity not wanting to perform because the stage wasn't built right to their specification, and they will tell you I'm not going to perform. Or celebrities or artists will not perform because either a particular thing they asked for, they will, some provisions that they wanted did not, and they'll walk out. They won't perform. So there's a lot of things that go on. And I'm sure, there have been artists that didn't perform just because the place didn't smell right. I don't know. I've never encountered that. But these are the things, because it's an ego thing. It's an ego thing. It's part of their brand. It's part of what they feel they have to do to really make themselves scarce. Now, that has to be managed properly. And that is part of his management team that will have to do that. Okay, that has to be managed properly. It is not something that you just go overboard. While that is also part of the thing that celebrities and artists do, the most important thing for an artist is their brand image and their audience. Okay, so while they're doing all of that stuff I just explained to you, one of the key things that an artist always thinks about, and if they don't remember, their business manager or their managers or the team remind them of that, is that while we can play this game, the people that are paying the ticket to see you, right? Those are the ones that your loyalty is to. Okay, right? Those are the ones. So in this case with Kizz Daniel, where his bag did not show up and he refuses to go on stage, which caused the fans to be upset. So there were mad. And I'm going to show you guys a lot of what's going on. They were pissed off. They trashed the place. They vandalized the place. And you can kind of understand why. These people have been waiting for him to perform. A lot of them took off. They were waiting hours for him to perform. And for him not to show up and perform for those reasons is ridiculous. Okay, it's ridiculous. So I want to show you some clips, and I'm gonna come back with why he was arrested. Okay, because I've seen a lot of things out there that are saying he was arrested because his people trashed the place. There are stories out there that Kizz Daniel's people trashed the place. Let me be clear, that is not true. Okay, Kizz Daniel and his team did not trash the place. Okay, the fans, that were upset at this trashed the place. All right, that's what occurred. So forget all the rumors that are going. That's not what happened. There's another thing that's flying around there that Kizz Daniel did not perform because he forgot his chain. He forgot his clothes or the clothes he wanted to perform with in Uganda. That's also not equally true because, again, from credible sources that I got this information from, he arrived. He didn't want to perform because the airline lost his bags. And in that bag had apparently the chain that he wanted to wear on stage, which he usually performs with. That was not in there. And that was the reason why he wouldn't perform. Not making it right, but just wanted to give you guys at least clarity in terms of the reasons behind that. So let me give you, let's watch this real quickly and then and I'll come back. Hold on a second. Can you guys hear me okay out there? Is that coming in okay? Because I want to make sure that this is not echoing. So if it's echoing, please let me know, okay? All right, let's get back into this.
Country, you must go in for it. I told you, you were causing a very big damage. I told you, I warned you yesterday. I begged you 2 hours on this show. I begged you 2 hours. Look at what you're doing. Why not apologize to the idiot? Apologize to you. Apologize to these people. Apologize to the people. Apologize. You apologize to the police.
Okay. All right. So you guys saw that, and so that's what occurred. So you saw that the fans were the ones that really kind of trashed the place because they were upset, understandably. Now, here's the reason why he was arrested. Okay, because there's all this talk out there that he shouldn't have been arrested. It's a disgrace. That why would they treat him that way and all of that. Now, understand when an artist is signed for a show, there's a contract that's put together between the artist and the promoter. Okay, the promoters are the ones that usually go out and really kind of get this stage set up. They invite the artist in, they pay the artist, either sometimes they pay them 50% up front and 50% depending on how big the artist is. So if the artist is a big time artist, they usually get all their money up front, right? But if it's an up and coming artist, sometimes it's a 50-50 split. You know, you get 50% and then after you perform, you get 50%. Either way, there is an agreement between the artist and the promoter in terms of, what is expected to be done and all of that stuff. So there's a lot of things at stake, not to mention reputation, not to mention people paid for tickets and all of that, which goes into what is used to pay the artist. Now, the reason why he was arrested is because Kizz Daniel breached the contract. Okay. That was why he was arrested. He wasn't arrested because I heard some other account out there that because his team trashed the place and so they arrested him for that. No, that wasn't the reason why he was arrested. He was arrested for the reasons that he breached the contract. So apparently the promoters that put this thing together called the cops and he breached the contract, which is why he was arrested. Now, I'm not going to tell you I'm not going to tell you if that was right for them to arrest him. I'm not going to tell you all of that, right? I'm going to give you my opinion later on this, right? I'm going to give you my opinion about this because I've seen artists. I've seen these things happen with artists. And so that's why he was arrested. Now, here's what I'm going to say about this. Should Kizz Daniel have performed? I think that given the fact that this he's done this before, apparently. And I've even reported on this. He's done this in the UK. He's done this several times in performing in Nigeria. And most recently, about a month ago, in Maryland, he left people hanging for 4 hours. And so fans back then also really got upset and threw what I would imagine are tomatoes. I don't know if they were tomatoes, but they threw things on stage, booed him off stage and all of that. So here's where I now lead into brand. So Kizz Daniel, apparently, I mentioned earlier on that these artists, part of an artist's image is ego and arrogance. It's part of what we in the marketing world can sell an artist. Will sell an artist. When we're doing brand imaging and we're trying to, it's part of what is really kind of suggested to an artist. Don't be too accessible. Have some kind of vague and be very mysterious about you. But you have to play it right. It can't be to the point where you're hurting your brand doing that, and you're hurting the people that are paying you money to see you doing that. Okay, it can't be that. Most times when that is advised is in things like social media. You don't respond to every negative comment on social media. Don't respond to every time someone calls you out, all of that. Those are the things that we talk about. You kind of have to have a decorum about yourself, really have a brand image because you're protecting it. So the behavior of Kizz Daniel on this is unacceptable, really unacceptable, because he, based on historical behavior on this, which in the last 2-3 months, these things have occurred, and he has a problem of either not showing up on time, or just saying I'm not going to perform, or having some kind of an attitude on stage and walking off. That is your brand. That is a brand that will be affected. So now that leads me to, is this going to affect his brand? Yes. This is going to have a major impact on his brand. Now, apparently in Tanzania, what I'm hearing from sources is that based on his arrest, now that there's damages that have been occurred, there's been destruction of properties have occurred as a result of this. So the government is holding him responsible now. So the talk is he's now going to leave Tanzania until he pays for those damages and also performs for free to compensate for all the losses that people have incurred as a result of this. Now, this is going to have a cascading effect, because when artists are booked, sometimes based on how popular the artist is, which Kizz Daniel will be very popular because of the Booger song that went viral a couple of months ago. There were other shows that were planned back to back. Apparently, he was going to also be in a different show the next day. He's not going to be able to attend that show. And that particular show also, they're going to have to pay everybody back that money. They're going to have to refund everybody or postpone the show. So either way, that is going to affect the event that he's got planned for a different. I heard something in Rwanda, right? And plenty other shows that he's booked back to back on this. So he's going to have to reschedule that. People are going to decide if they want to come. They're going to either say, hey, I want my money back. I heard what happened in Tanzania. I'm not with this. This man seemed to always do this. Sick of it, right? That could happen. Don't know, but that could very well happen. So this is a PR nightmare for him, right? This is a PR nightmare for his team. This is one of those things that even when I was in the field, and I wasn't I did not handle artists. Thank God I did not. But I worked for a marketing firm that really kind of managed artists in terms of helping them with their marketing branding initiative. But in terms of directly managing artists or being a business partner, wasn't in it. But I knew people that really did. And it's not a fun and easy task, because a lot of these artists, as I mentioned, are very egotistical. A lot of them really have some kind of, they have a chip on their shoulder. Depending on how big an artist is, an artist can really kind of fire you on the spot, walk off stage on the spot, and have you as a PR person deal with that situation. So there's a lot of things that you work and you deal with artists, right? And I would imagine promoters that deal with these people every day would know what I'm talking about and would attest to this. So artists are the most difficult people to handle. But they're not any different from movie stars or designers, fashion designers. They're not any different. They're all the same. They all behave the same, right? But many artists, at least from what I've experienced, understand their brand. They understand that at the end of the day, their brand is what puts money in their pocket. Okay? They understand that. Now, things happen, right? Things happen that some artists aren't able to control. So things can happen, like the weather. It could have been that he lost, he missed his flight, which is not the situation in this case. So that occurs. Or it could have been that he got sick last minute. Artists develop some kind of rash last minute. Their voices get hoarse where they can't perform. So there are these things that happen that really can affect events. And so promoters have to go to task. They have to really kind of work that in and say, hey, the event is being canceled. Normally your business manager or your crisis manager would handle that, right? To ensure that people are compensated if they have to refund money back or if they have to reschedule it. These are the things that your team have to do. But if you have a habit, which Kizz Daniel now has shown, that he's got a habit of really kind of showing late to events, really, and having this and taking this whole arrogance and this whole brand image and trying to be edgy really out of order. He is very well, I will tell you right now, that he is going to lose a lot of money for this for the next few months, even this entire year. What's going to happen is that many artists are not going to want to work with him. Okay, many artists are going to see him as a risk, and risk factors and managing your risk factors is a huge thing because there's a lot of parts moving in this. A lot of parts, right? You're talking about people's money here. You're talking about reputation. You talk about there's a lot of moving parts. And so the last thing a different artist wants to have is their brand image smeared because of some other person. So many artists like Davido, many artists like Wizkid, many artists like Burna Boy, they're looking at this because these things are not happening to them. And they're saying to themselves, you know what? I don't want to work with that guy. Right? Or they may have to put a type of a sunset clause in their contract. You have to like put these types of provision, damages type of thing as a clause when it comes to him, if they have to work together. So that is going to affect his brand moving forward, because this is not good. This is not a good. Your chain isn't more important than the people that have paid upwards of $5,000-$10,000 to sit at those tables. You see those tables? You see that table we saw earlier on? These tables right here. Okay, these tables. Right, see these tables right here? These tables. People paid money for these tables. Right? So these tables, I don't know. I think these are the ones that cost like 10 grand. I think. I wasn't there. I don't know. But these are not cheap. We're talking about dollars here. Okay? These are not cheap. And to have these people wait and you don't show up at the event, you can kind of see why they were upset. You kind of see why that these guys were upset. It is unexcusable. Look at this. People paid money for this, right? So that is a problem. That is a huge problem, and this is definitely going to affect him moving forward. There's no, it's going to affect him. And I don't understand why Kizz Daniel, for some reason, you're a superstar. You're not an A-list star yet. Okay, let me tell you that. You are not an A-list star. Okay, you've had a couple of strict and a couple of songs that have really kind of giving you some notoriety. Okay, but you're not an A-list star by any stretch of the imagination. You're not. And I think that's getting into his head to really behave this way and think that is okay for him to behave. So a lot of these promoters will need to be compensated. So that is the issue with him. So here's my take on this. On the subject of should he have been arrested? Yes. I think he should. I think yes. If I were in that situation, I would have called the cops too. It's business. It's business. Now his management team or his manager, the one he signed with, I think that's Paul Okoye, will have to really kind of give his take on this. But I would imagine that he's probably embarrassed about this. I would imagine that he's embarrassed about this, because you don't get to do this on and on, continuously, over and over again, and think it's okay. There are people's money at stake. There's business reputation. A lot of these promoters that promoted him, that brought him in, have a business. Not to mention the people that are the most important people of all of these things. People that paid to watch you perform. People that are putting money in your pocket. People that are helping to elevate your brand. To do that and have that kind of reputation at some point, yes, I say they were right in arresting him. Tanzania was right in arresting him on this. And whatever fallout that his team gets for this, unfortunately, it's not they're not to blame. I don't blame his team for this. The sole responsibility for all of this is Kizz Daniel, because he made the conscious decision not to go perform because his chain was in a bag that was lost on a flight. They begged him. They pleaded with him. They reminded him of what's at stake. And because of his arrogance, he refused to oblige. What are they supposed to do? So I think that it's a good precedent that is set. So for any up and coming artist that goes to perform, they don't understand business. Okay, they just want to get the money. There's a brand. If you don't understand that your brand image, if that is not important to you, understand that you may very well get arrested for this. If you as an artist don't see the value of your brand image, to protect it, to make sure that your fans are not upset, because your fans are the ones that will make you and break you. In the West, here in the United States, also in the West, a lot of fans have destroyed artists because of some things that was tweeted on social media, things that were shared on social media, things that was put out there. Fans have brought down celebrities, but you know what they do in the West? They get in front of it. They get their PR team to release a statement and say, we are so sorry. They do a free concert, a free show. They perform and do things like that to really kind of compensate, because they understand brand image. For some reason, a lot of these artists that are coming up in Nigeria, many of them came from a huge poverty. Okay, so many of them may not understand brand image, brand packaging, what that means. But I would imagine that they have a team of people that would explain this to them, because if they don't have a team of people then we're knowledgeable, very knowledgeable about this thing, then you are making a huge mistake. Because those are the things that protect your brand. Those are the things that will keep you here long. Because music is a very seasonal thing. Okay, it's not like a movie star. A movie star can do one movie and that can last that movie for they pay out for that movie if it's a good movie. Can last a movie star for years. They don't have to be in another movie. Okay, different. Music is different. Okay, if you're not releasing an album or releasing a song, out of mind is out of sight. We'll forget about you. So you constantly have to reinvent yourself. Music is a very delicate thing. It's not easy. Right? So one song one success does not set you up for the rest of your life. And it sounds that like Kizz Daniel doesn't understand this. Sounds like he has no understanding about this. So he's gonna have to pay the price. Rightfully so. I think it's right for them to have arrested him. And whatever repercussions come as a result of that. If he has to do a free show, if that's what they're asking for, great. Now, the only thing I would say in terms of the arrest, putting him in the back of a truck like that, when they took him away, let me show you guys. That's crazy, right? But again, that's what their police cars are. They don't come in limos, right? They don't arrest people in limos. They put them in the back of a truck. So that doesn't look good to his brand image. That does not look good. Like when they were moving him out, right here. That's funny. Right here. Now that's funny. Right? That is not a good look. To be put on the back of this, whatever this is called, pickup truck. Right? That is not a good look. For a celebrity of his stature. Okay? And that is the type of thing that's an embarrassment. A huge embarrassment. He's just going to have to get it together. And I think that moving forward, what he needs to do, he needs to, this is not just as easy as what he did last time where he released a tweet and apologized for last time when he came in late and all that. No, he's going to have to do what's called a damage control to his reputation. He's going to have to hire, if he doesn't have one already, a crisis manager. He's going to have one on his team, because if his business manager does and the management team that really kind of manage him, if they don't know this already, then I would question their expertise. Because if you know that he has this reputation and he has this as an issue, I would hope there's a crisis manager on his team. And that person right now is going to have to, is not going to be sleeping for the next week or weeks, because they're going to have to do what's called a damage control. Because how he responds moving forward, how he responds coming out of this is going to make the difference between his brand, sustaining his brand, or really becoming another, what you call fly by night, artists that just come and go. And Kizz Daniel will have no one else to blame but himself. Because no one is responsible for, you need to really protect your brand and really respect those that come to watch you play, that pay money to watch you perform. And if you don't understand that, then you don't need to be an artist. You don't need to have that gig. So the lines are open if you want to come up and give your take on this. Click on the link. If you want to come up and let me know what your thoughts are on this. Let me see what's going on in the chat. Yeah, Chioma, you're right. He probably thought I don't know why he would think the chain was that important. I don't know how expensive that chain was, but damn that chain. Who cares? And I think that this is that problem where, you have this Nigerian artist that really want to mimic a lot of the hip hop behavior, where they have the 2 chains and the 4 chains and they're rolling around with all these golds and all of that. Okay, great. If that's part of your image, awesome. But not at the expense of you killing your brand. That is the dumbest thing that you could ever do. Right? That is the dumbest thing you could ever do. And I can't support that. I can't support that. I've seen quite a few things behind the scenes in my past time, my past life, working with people that work with artists, and I've heard the most ridiculous thing. This one takes the top for me. This one, really, this one's ridiculous. And then it makes me wonder if he's all the way there, right? I don't know. I wasn't there, so I don't know the conversations that led to he's not wanting to go on stage. But from what I've heard and from sources I've heard from about this, it's because he wanted to go on stage with his chain. And he wasn't going to wear anything else but that. Ridiculous. All right, so let me know if you guys want to come on stage and give your take on this.
It's not my fault. You've been lying, saying that I took away your peace. Drowning by yourself, now you wanna blame me. Like you have no options. I ain't take your options. Now I'm not the problem. Man, that's on you. You've been terrorizing me, yeah, I'm always wrong. I knew you lost your mind when you dropped that bomb. Girl, are you crazy? Yeah, you must be crazy. I've been thinking lately it's you. You stole your peace, put it on me. Baby, it's you. I like a ride, but take your stuff back. Baby, it's you. Baby, it's you. And I would never. Yeah. You've been flexing everywhere. Girl, look in the mirror. Man, you're so dirty. Yeah, you look so dirty.
Please hit the like button while you're coming in. There's quite a few people watching. If you don't mind hitting the like button so the algorithm can kind of push this. Just please go ahead and hit the like button for me on this. Yeah, I see a couple of the chats. I see what you guys are saying. Yeah, I think that, I've seen that particular one that you've talked about. You're saying also in terms of the, what he's doing on stage. And I see him on stage really kind of grabbing women and perform, that whole kind of thing. See, I've defended Kizz Daniel in the past. And I've defended him in terms of some things that I thought was that he responded properly on, because I know based on my experience in this, I know on the other side what artists are exposed to. I've worked with not music artists, but I've worked with designers, high profile designers, and I have been in the midst in parties that these artists in New York, I've seen them. I've seen a lot of these artists, the ones that I'm not going to drop their names. It's not that important. But I've seen them and I've heard situations that go on. There's a lot of things that they're exposed to that it's not easy for them also. To be fair, it's not easy for them either, right? Because they have to walk on eggshell, right? Not excusing what happened with Kizz Daniel. Not excusing that. But they have to walk on eggshell. They have to be very careful. It's not easy to have a recognition, have a face that people recognize. You can't do anything. Most of us really kind of want that life. But trust me, you don't want that life. You don't want it. To not be able to do anything. And every little thing you do can be misconstrued to be something else. And there's constant fire you have to quench. So it's a lot, which is why a lot of these artists result into drinking. Sometimes they get in their ways. They resort into drugs because they want to escape. They want to escape out of their mind. They want to escape for once. They want to be They want to be someone totally different because of 24 hours, 24/7. They have to be what we are expecting them to be. So it's not easy. Okay, not excusing that. It's not easy. However, every artist, the reason why they perform, the reason why they act, the reason why they do their work, whatever, is because they want to put food on the table. They want to keep their brand up. So as much as they may hate, some of the attention that they're getting and some of the stuff they have to do because it's 24/7 work, I've yet to find one, at least the ones I've worked, I've yet to find one that would trade tables with someone else. They would not do it. They wouldn't trade places with most of us because they love it. They love that their names get chanted. They love that they have all of that. They love it no matter what. But they go through this, this mental state where it's a toll on their body. It's a toll on them. It's a toll on what they do. But nonetheless, if you've been paid, you've accepted the money, the event has been scheduled, and you arrived. It wasn't like in his situation, he did not even show up, or maybe the flight. No, that was not the case. He flew in yesterday, Sunday. He arrived the same day, hours before the show. Okay, but to not do the show for the reasons that he gave is totally ridiculous. And they came and picked him up at his hotel today, because the all of that stuff that I just showed you went viral. And so the Tanzanian authorities saw that and say, no. And I think the promoters, I don't know who called the cops. I would imagine maybe it's the promoters or maybe I don't know. But either way, the cops came and they went and picked him up at this hotel room. And that's the situation we know. So he's going to have to do some damage control on this. He's going to have to really kind of repair his image. He's got a long way to go on this. He's got a long haul. It's not going to be easy. Trust me, it's not going to be a simple tweet. That's not going to work. It's not going to help him on this. It's going to have to be a lot of humbling himself. It's going to be a lot of apologizing. And from these moments onwards, it's going to have to be Kizz Daniel losing money on the front end so he can repair his image on the back end. It's not going to be easy. So he's probably going to have to do some shows where he's not paid his premium amount to earn the public's trust. His management team are going to need to go out the back to really, trust me, it's not easy. There's going to be a lot of marketing campaigns that will need to be done on his behalf to repair his image, to repair his brand, and to really give his fans, as well as other artists, the confidence to want to really kind of work with him. Because this is not the first time. If it was the first time, we would say, okay, great. No, which is why the last few times he's done it, people have excused it. Now this has become an epic failure on his part. So he's gonna have to repair his image. All right, so I think that will be it for me. I don't think anyone is wanting to add to this. But let me know in the comment section what your thoughts are on this. Let me know. And was he? What are your thoughts on my viewpoint on this? I think they were right in arresting him. What are your thoughts on that? If you're a promoter out there and you've really you've worked with artists, what are your thoughts on this? Should they have put him in the back of a pickup truck, or have you guys drive him to the airport, or have him driven in a different type of vehicle as an artist to show him some kind of respect? Should his team have stepped in to say, hey, hold on a second, we know you have to arrest him? Do they even have? I don't even think that at the moment they have an authority, because if when the cops show up, they don't care about your team and what you did. They only care about one thing: arresting the man that they came to arrest for the crime that they feel that he had committed. And in this case, it was a breach of contract. I, for one, think it's crazy that they put him in the back of a pickup truck. That is not good for his image. Nonetheless, that is how they chose to take him away. So his team will have to really kind of do something to repair this. And that will be something they have to. And he's going to have to pay some legal fees if they have to sue him, right? So the promoters may go after him legally. That's what they are within their rights to do that. So that could very well happen. You know, they could very well go after him legally. And so either way, it's going to be a financial loss for him, not to mention a huge stain to his brand, which he is going to need to fix. And it's going to take months of active campaign to repair that. And I wouldn't want to be part of that team that's doing that. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Please like the video, share the content. Let me know what your thoughts are on this, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.
Nu vill jag kunna ge tillbaka allt jag inte kunnat ge förut. Det finns ingen annan där som kan stå här by my side, oh why. Sättet du rör på det får mig att dö för det, baby. För de här yardis, de vill ju bara dra ner oss. Men du är fett och vanligt.